here. And in this archdiocese of New York, a radiant example of how we are changing the worlds of our beloved seniors is the work of our Catholic healthcare system, ArchCare. ArchCare helps thousands of people of all faiths stay healthy and safe while they continue to live in their own homes or with their families for as long as possible. And there's top quality medical care, home assistance, in-home rehab, even meals, transportation, and of course, care for the soul. And thanks to ArchCare social-based centers, family caregivers can go to work knowing that their fragile elders will be safe and well cared for during the day. Now, these are just some of the ways that ArchCare is changing our seniors' worlds for the better. Learn more at archcare.org. That's archcare.org. ArchCare. ArchCare. Your care.
Well, it looks like welcome my grandson to your second mean a lot to me. But after being diagnosed with metastatic breast cancer, or MBC, which is breast cancer that is spread to other parts of the body, they mean even more. I think Ibrance, hypocyclic. Ibrance 125 milligram tablets with an aromatase inhibitor. It's for postmenopausal women or for now with E4 positive, HER2 negative MBC as the first hormonal-based therapy. Ask your doctor about Ibrance. Ibrance may cause low white blood cell counts that may lead to serious infections. Ibrance may cause severe inflammation of the lungs. Both attacks can lead to death. Tell your doctor right away if you have new or worsening symptoms, including trouble breathing, shortness of breath, cough, or chest pain. Before taking Ibrance, tell your doctor if you have fever, chills, or other signs of infection, liver or kidney problems, are or plan to become pregnant, or are breastfeeding. Common side effects include low red blood cell and low platelet counts, infections, tiredness, nausea, sore mouth, abnormalities in the blood test, diarrhea, hair thinning or loss, vomiting, rash, and loss of appetite.
Winds News Time 2:15. Tennis great Serena Williams appears to be edging closer to retirement. She hinted at it in a first-person essay in Vogue magazine and talked about it with reporters at a tournament in Canada this week.
Serena Williams won a first-round victory at the Toronto Open under grueling conditions and told reporters there's a light at the end of the tunnel.
Lately, that's been it for me. Can't wait to get to that light.
But the 40-year-old mom and investment mogul adds,
I can't do this forever.
In a Vogue article, she says she is evolving toward other things that are important to her. Williams says she has been reluctant to admit to herself or anyone else that she has to move on from playing tennis, but she is ready for what's next.
That's correspondent Allison Keyes. There is speculation that Williams may have something more to say at the U.S. Open here in New York at the end of the month. After 4 years without naming a captain, the New York Rangers will put a C on Jacob Trouba's uniform this season. For the last couple of years, the team has used a set of 6 alternates and no captain. Trouba was one of them, but the New York Post says he was considered the de facto captain within the organization. Trouba is 28 years old and becomes the 28th captain in franchise history. Now, a report from the flood front in eastern Kentucky.
The Salvation Army has served 10,000 warm meals to eastern Kentucky flood victims. The organization has also been handing out hygiene kits and cleaning supplies. Salvation Army Major Katie Chase.
It's always a blessing to be able to come and serve our fellow neighbors and to be the hands and feet of Jesus to them.
At least 37 people died in the flood nearly 2 weeks ago. 2 women remain missing, a 60-year-old and a 29-year-old.
Correspondent Jim Crisula reporting. COVID is apparently here to stay, so will things ever return to normal? Well, for some people, they already have. A poll conducted last month by the Annenberg Public Policy Center at the University of Pennsylvania finds that 41% of those surveyed said they had returned to their pre-COVID lives. 36% said they expect to in the coming months or years. 23% of respondents say things will never be the same as they were. And asked if they worry about a family member's health being seriously affected by COVID, 49% say no, 48% say yes. A minor outbreak of COVID has caused China to close the famous Potala Palace in Tibet.
A notice on the palace's social media site says the historic location that was the traditional home of Tibet's Buddhist leaders will be closed from Tuesday, with a reopening date to be announced later. Tibet's economy is heavily dependent on tourism, and the Potala is a key draw. The action underscores China's continued adherence to its zero COVID policy, mandating lockdowns, routine testing, easing quarantines and travel restrictions, even while most other countries have reopened. I'm Charles Dilladesma.
Winds New Time 219.
Natural disasters happen every year. Fires, hurricanes, tornadoes. And with that, your most important moments recorded on VHS, camcorder tapes, and 8mm could all be gone in an instant. Cherished moments like your wedding, baby's first step, family trips to Yellowstone, lost. Enter Legacy Box. Digitizing your old media with Legacy Box protects your irreplaceable memories from the threat of natural disaster by digitally preserving them onto thumb drive, DVD, or the cloud, so they're safe forever. Legacy Box is the safest and easiest way to preserve your past, which is why it's been trusted by over 1 million families. Send Legacy Box your home movies, photos, and film. Their team of trained professionals will do the rest right here in the U.S. For a limited time, Legacy Box is offering a radio-exclusive offer on digitizing all your media. Visit legacybox.com/value for an unbelievable deal on protecting your memories. That's legacybox.com/value.
Harlem Week is back, and this year you can attend in person or stream the events. For more information, go to harlemweek.com.
All news, all the time. This is 1010 Wins. You give us 22 minutes, we'll give you the world.
Good afternoon. It's 95 degrees at 2:20. I'm Larry Cantor, and here's what's happening. A comfortable weekend lies ahead, but getting there will continue to be a trial. We'll check in with AccuWeather. An attempted murder suspect who escaped from the police precinct in the Bronx is back in custody now. New Jersey legislators want to combat the coming congestion pricing program in the city by keeping workers in Jersey. It may not seem like it, but statistics show violent crime this year is down from last year's level. Parental controls come to Snapchat. In sports, Mets host the Reds. The Yankees play in Seattle. AccuWeather is still humid tonight and tomorrow, but not as warm. Winds News Time 2:21. Time for traffic and transit, and here's Greg Rice.
Well, getting a bit worse in Brooklyn Beach. You kind of know what to sign up for right away over to the Brooklyn Bridge with that long-term pattern. That's why it's slow eastbound from right around the area of 38th Street up to the Brooklyn Bridge, and westbound from the Kosciuszko Bridge into the area. But right now, the outbound Gowanus is also at a crawl once you find your way down there from pretty much the Prospect Expressway coming down towards the Belt Parkway merge, and we are looking into why. Here's what you need to know about the bridges and tunnels. Citybound side of the George Washington Bridge. Upper and lower level, you're in pretty good shape. West side, the best ride that gets you out. Lincoln and Holland, they're okay. Queensbound to Whitestone and Frog's Neck, awful. The Queensbound RFK just bad, so by default, it's the best of the bunch. Frogstown to Whitestone, slowing for the RFK, where Frog's Neck going to treat you better. Citybound Midtown Tunnel, Brooklyn Bridge, all bunched up. Staten Island Expressway eastbound starting to slow out towards the area of Highland Boulevard with construction, but the work before that, eastbound at Victory Boulevard, that has wrapped up. Traffic is sponsored by Whole Foods Market. I'm Greg Rice on 1010 Wins.
At Whole Foods Market, get animal welfare certified beef short ribs for $7.99 per pound through August 9th, while supplies last. Plus, Prime members save an extra 10%. Shop in-store or online at Amazon.com/Whole Foods. Terms apply.
No sweat? Impossible if you step outside today. But a change is on the horizon. Let's get more from AccuWeather and meteorologist Brian Thompson.
Well, today will be the last day of the heat wave across the tri-state. We're finally going to see temperatures come back down again into tomorrow and through the rest of the week. High temperatures will be back into the 80s. The humidity is going to take a little longer to get out of here. We're still going to see some humidity tomorrow and Thursday, although it does not look quite as humid as the last couple of days. But we're really going to see another push of more comfortable air in by Friday and the weekend, and the humidity is going to come way down with highs back in the low 80s by the weekend.
Right now it's 95 degrees, humidity 44%, and an AccuWeather real feel of 100. A suspect in an attempted murder is back in custody after escaping from a police station in the Bronx yesterday afternoon. The man was being processed at the 40th Precinct Station House in Mott Haven when he reportedly shoved a detective and took off. The suspect was not handcuffed. Not in New York. That's what Governor Hochul says we have to commit to prevent incidents like the grocery store massacre in Buffalo.
The Buffalo shooter could have been stopped in his tracks because he basically demonstrated and said what he intended to do. So we are in the not crime-solving business today, we're in the crime prevention business.
She told the Division of Homeland Security and Emergency Services today that help is needed to combat domestic terrorism on the local level. She wants them to help create threat assessment management teams, and she indicated that money will be put behind the effort. Authorities say the Buffalo shooter traveled there with the intention of targeting black people. 10 were killed. Police have released security camera video of what happened in an Upper West Side smoke shop early yesterday morning. It shows a man pointing a gun at a worker, then hopping over the counter and grabbing cash from the register. Several other suspects join the gunman behind the counter, but so does a customer. He puts the gunman in a headlock and drags him to the ground. In the struggle, a shot is fired, hitting the customer in the foot. The robbers took off with some jars of CBD and $150 in cash. The wounded man is in stable condition. Anyone with information is asked to call Crime Stoppers at 800-577-TIPS. And police have come up with some surveillance camera video of a fatal hit-and-run that occurred in Prospect Heights, Brooklyn 1 month ago. It happened at about 2 in the morning at Dean Street and Washington Avenue. 61-year-old Stuart Halliburton of Brooklyn was trying to cross the street. The video shows him being hit by a white Toyota RAV4. It appears to be about 10 or 12 years old and has aftermarket rims. It did not have a license plate. The car did not stop. Then Halliburton, now lying in the road, is hit by a small black SUV, make and model unclear. That car didn't stop either. Anyone with information is, again, asked to call Crime Stoppers at 800-577-TIPS. Now this message. Met fans, before every game, tune in to the Nissan Mets pregame show on WCBS 880. Wins News Time 226, and now Bloomberg Money Watch on 1010 Wins. Here's Andrew O'Day.
Finding a home to buy isn't so much of a problem now. The supply of homes for sale across the nation grew at a record rate last month, up 31% from a year earlier. Realtor.com says it's a record increase for the third straight month. The Fed Reserve's moves to corral inflation by raising interest rates to slow down the pandemic housing frenzy thanks to the jump in mortgage costs. Sellers have trimmed prices to be more competitive. Might be harder to get financial help from private colleges and universities. Investment in college endowments dropped the most since the financial crisis of 2008 because of the big stock losses so far this year. The Wilshire Trust Universe Comparison Service finds endowments lost a median of more than 10% before fees through the 12 months through June. Well, the largest funds, with more than $500 million in assets, did better. They actually gained almost 1%. Not gaining are Wall Street's indexes this afternoon. We are down across the board. Dow falling 118, NASDAQ down 182, S&P 500 losing 26. Bloomberg Money Watch is 26 and 56 past every hour. I'm Andrew O'Day for 1010 Wins.
Wins News Time 227.
It's easy to think all money managers are pretty much the same, but at Fisher Investments, they're clearly different.
Different? How? You sell high-commission investment products, right?
No, Fisher Investments doesn't sell any commission-based investment products.
Well, you must earn commissions on trades.
Nope, never at Fisher. We're a fiduciary, obligated to act in our clients' best interest. It's the highest standard of care for a financial advisor.
How do you know what's in their best interest?
We get to know our clients, and then tailor a portfolio based on their goals and needs.
But you probably sneak in some hidden and layered fees.
No, we have one transparent management fee structured so we do better when our clients do better.
Wow, you really do look out for your clients.
That's because our top priority is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement. It might be why most of our clients come from other money managers. Visit FisherInvestments.com to find out why investors like you switch to us. Fisher Investments. Clearly different money management.
Investments and securities involve the risk of loss.
Do you know what people see when they Google you? Search engines don't always get it right. And when they're wrong,
It's your reputation on the line. So what do you do when you don't agree with your search results? Call Reputation Defender at 800-933-1022. Reputation Defender by Norton is one of the most trusted names in online reputation repair. We have over a decade of experience in fixing people's search results, and we can help you too. Using cutting-edge approaches, Reputation Defender pushes unflattering information down to lower pages of your search results.